Hey, what's up, guys? It is Rapmark here. So, doing my review for episode 3 of Boba Fett, the book of Boba Fett, as I was. Uh, it's a bit late, and some of these are going to come out really fast just because we're so close to the end of this. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to burn through these real quick, and then move on from there, and then we'll be ready for the last episode to come out, which will be sometime after my birthday, which is on February 8th. So there's that. Anyway, so what did I think of this episode? Um, Man, wow. This. So I'm gonna start off with the good. I liked the plot points of this episode. Um, again, he's trying, an assassination attempt's coming. He has to prepare for that. He's trying to gather more men to control and make sure everything moves within Mos Espa. Um, then there's the thing with the huts. Uh, like most of the plot points, I I did enjoy, but when I saw them in execution, it was it was something else. It was there was a lot of really bad parts about this episode. Um, so let's just go right into this. This is another one done by Robert Rodriguez. He did the first one as well. Um, so this one is So it starts off, he gets petitioned by someone, Watermonger, um, about this gang that's stealing his water, and it's just like, oh my gosh, this could sound cool because he's building them up, and it's just like, oh man, I can't wait to see this. And then when he gets there, it's a bunch of kids with multicolored like speeders in pristine condition too for Tatooine, and just get out outfits that are just, it was really, I was not a fan. uh, and the modifications that they had on their bodies, because it was just like they're replacing parts of their bodies with machines or modifying themselves, and it's just like, it sounds really cool on paper, but again, seeing it, I was just like, oh my, this is silly. And yes, there has been similar stuff that done, and the problem is there's a difference of doing that sort of display, that sort of camp, uh, in, say, Coruscant, where it's a huge city and you can kind of get away with it because it's a huge place with various different things going on, and in freaking Tatooine, where it's just like, why do you look the way you do? This seems out of place, and it does. It seems awkward, out of place. I was not a fan. The memes of the Power Rangers that I've seen on the internet suddenly make a lot of sense, and I'm just like, why? It was I was not a fan of the whole mods, as yeah, it was, yeah. So that was my thing, and they try to, when he runs up to him, like it's just like that stealing. It's just like they're trying to be tough and bad with him, and it's just like, do you know? And they know who he is, and they're still doing that, and it's like, oh my gosh, like why he didn't like kill one of them or something, or attacked, or just something, anything, but nothing was done, and it's just like, all right, whatever. So then they're working for him, and I mean, obviously the watermonger, he's charging way too high prices, so he tells them to lower them, and they're working for him now, and it's just like, yeah. All right, so then we go, and he's back in his Bacta tank, and again he goes seeking the toll from the Pikes on behalf of the Tuscan tribe from the last episode where they attacked and stopped the train running spice. And the Pike leader for that he's talking to is like, I'm not sure. I don't think that's the leader, but essentially just the man running operations in Mo- in Tatooine. But anyway, he's just like, we're already paying tribute to the Sand Raiders, which is a Nikto gang. Um, so, and they had already paid him. So why are we going to pay protection money to two people providing protection? And it's like, I will go sort this out. And then he goes and he discovers that the entire tribe has been wiped out, which is it's a big disappointment. I mean, obviously it was done for character development of Boba Fett. It just is really kind of disappointing though, like to have the whole clan just completely killed off screen even. So yeah, I mean, he blames the Nikto gang, but I mean, it's obviously the Pikes. Like anyone could see, it's the Pikes that did this. I don't believe the Nikto, like, that the Tuscans couldn't fend off on some level, like just a bunch of speeders trying to take out their camp. They're pretty hardcore fighters. So, but yeah, it's a little bit of a disappointment. And then you get Kersantin. I believe I've gotten that pronounced correctly now. I struggled with it, I remember, on the first one of these. Black Kersantin. He comes, and this is the assassination attempt. And this fight was just so cringy and awkward. How do you honestly, how do you mess up a fight between this badass former gladiator, now kind of, you know, of a freaking Wookiee, and Boba Fett? It's just like it starts off. He's just throwing him around. He's just throwing him around. I mean, that gets a couple of stabs in, but it's just like, what is the Wookiee doing? It seems like he's toying with him when he could kill him any number of times. I mean, I get it. What's the point of the show if that's just gonna? But I think this. I was not impressed with the direction of this fight. Let's just say that. And again, the plot point, it's good. I think the writing was good on this episode. This was a very well written episode. I think most of them were. I mean, Jon Favreau has apparently written all of these, and yeah, I think he did a great job. But in terms of direction and the look, like, uh, like I think Robert Rodriguez kind of did a disservice to it. I also think the costume designer, in terms of what the mods looked like, was ugh. It, and I really hate to say it. I mean, I know a lot of work goes into this. I know, but at the same time, it's just like this doesn't feel like Star Wars. This feels kind of like a a spoof of Star Wars in certain respects, which is sad because again, I like the writing of these episodes, but in terms of this episode specifically, I think there was a lot of bad direction. But yeah, the fight is silly. Then the mods come in, and the thing is, their mods aren't even that great. I mean, the way they're designed, I figure that it's to look cool and whatever, but they just look silly. They look tacky. Uh, I'm just I do not like these. I do not like these guys. They just seem so out of place. And I don't think it's the acting. I think it's just, again, they feel out of place, and I'm not impressed with that. And it really is kind of a letdown for me. So they come in, and like, there's one who has just a little laser or blaster, and just like he's fighting. And I don't like Wookiees. If you know Wookiees, they are fucking hardcore. They are the melee gods of fucking Star Wars. They will take a bunch of punishment and still keep coming at you. The thing is, he keeps getting closer with it. You literally stand back and shoot. That's the whole point. You don't get into freaking arm's reach range of a Wookiee, let alone one like this guy. What are you thinking? It's yeah, it was cringy. And then the guards come in, the two Balmorians. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, Gamorreans. There we go. I'll look that up real quick. Um, and they fight. One of them gets bitten. They all go down the stairs. They end up in the sort of main conference area where he sort of gets into the center of the room, and then yeah, he gets into the middle of the room where Shand gets and sends him down into the Sarlacc pit. I mean, obviously there's nothing down there, but yeah, they trap him, and yeah, so that was a thing that happened. And then we go to back. The twins end up showing up when he obviously failed, and they bring a forth the gift of a Rancor, and also and they're just like we're not going to fight. We apologize. So here's our gift to you for sending the assassination attempt. Um, and we're going to leave because apparently the governor has promised this planet to the Pikes, and which makes no sense. Oh, and they also bring Danny Trejo as apparently going to be the trainer of the Rancor. So yeah, that's that was interesting. I am glad they brought him. Uh, so that was super fun. But again, in terms of lore, like this doesn't quite make sense to me. And if anyone wants to comment, like how it does in terms of lore, what? Because again, first of all, the mayor has no power to offer the entire planet to the Pike Syndicate. And I mean, even if he did, even if this was like the Pikes would, I don't believe the Pikes would want to risk a war with the Hutts by stealing territory from the Hutts. Like that is a planet that is clearly run by the Hutts. You know, Jabba's death, he essentially willed the planet to his cousins, the twins. And so yeah, I don't understand how that works in terms of lore, or why the Pikes would want to risk war with the Hutts over over Tatooine. Like that just sounds silly. But yeah, but and then they let Kersantin go, which I imagine is going to come into play later. Maybe he'll come and actually fight fight for them. What else we got? So that he goes with Shand. Fett goes with Shand and the cyborgs to question uh, Shaez, the mayor. So he's not there. The major dormo is, and again, you see this whole thing of, you know, it's just like he is booked for the next month. And just like we're not waiting for an appointment. Oh, I did miss something with the Rancor. So the Rancor, I did enjoy the scene. You know, and I did enjoy the lore. You know, Rancors not just being mindless beasts, because they're not. I mean, if you there is lore that supports that they are at least semi-sentient. So I did enjoy that. I do think it went a little too long, and the fact that he actually wants to ride the Rancor, that's a little okay. I mean, why when you have jetpack? It's just really weird. I mean, I get it would look cool, but yeah. So I don't know, and I think it lasted a little long, but I did enjoy that scene on the whole. I thought it was really cool. But anyway, going back to them, so Shan is just like, we're rethink your next words carefully, and flashes her gun at him, and you know, it's just like, okay, I will see if we can rearrange some of these appointments. And then as he walks away, like Boba Fett asks her, like, was that necessary? Just like, come on, like, and that is this is not the Boba Fett that I signed up for. Again, I see what they're trying to do. Apparently, he's going to be a hero, like the hero type, and there's no edge. Like, I think me and a lot of other people wanted there to be a harder edge to him, and it just feels like he's a wet blanket. Like literally, who gets on your freaking essentially your lieutenant for flashing a gun to get the freaking door open? Who? Ugh. I don't like what they're doing. It's kind of upsetting, and yeah, I am not a fan. So anyway, they go. The mayor locks the door, and then he takes off. And what ensues is probably one of the most awkward speeder chases I have ever seen in all of Star Wars. Like, holy crap! The speeders that the Nikto gang were riding looked cooler than that. Like, for how new and how shiny and how colorful these freaking speeders were, they looked like they were going so slow. It looked awkward and sad. It's and the major domo, like his vehicle looked to be going faster, and it could have just been the way it was directed. But I mean, it just looked awkward and bad, and they try to do cool things like jumps and ramps and you know wall grinds, and it looked cringy. It made me it made me really sad. I was not impressed. And then finally they managed again, it shows off their mods, and it's just like, one is using a mod on his foot to stamp on the speeder. Another one was using like a blowtorch thing from his wrist. It's just like, do you guys not have blasters? Like, what is the point? Yeah, maybe they look cool, but the practical application of these is absolutely silly when a blaster to the right place would literally get the job done. Oh, I do not like the cyborgs. I don't like them at all. They're not my favorite. I hate them. They're cringy, and I think they're stupid. Sorry. And then if he finally gets one of his, I guess, stabilizers taken out, he spins out, a bunch of fruit falls on him, and he can't start his car. That's the end of it. And then Boba Fett just flies down on his jetpack, and that's that. And oh my god. It's just like, what were you doing this whole time, Fett? What were you doing? Uh, yeah, it was. Yeah, I just don't like what they're doing to Boba here. They're literally turning him into a wet blanket, and I don't like it. It's not my Boba. Which I mean, I get because again, the original Boba had only like 5 minutes worth of screen time and four lines. But I mean, again, the way he was built up in that, like he's this badass bounty hunter you don't want to mess with. And even taking away like the expanded universe, the stuff that's no longer canon, and everything else, comics and whatnot. Um, it is literally shown, like in The Mandalorian, there is a literal fight scene where he is shown to be a badass, like a actual kick-ass badass. It is shown in a Disney Plus series. It is shown in lore. Like he is a badass, and he is a wet blanket in this franchise so far, or not this franchise, but this series so far, and it's just so disappointing to me right now. Yeah, he's not doing anything. He's not respected. It's like, he is the most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy. So yeah. So later, it shows the Pikes Rant, and another cringy joke. It's just like the guy with the sort of eye augmentation. He's just like he makes a phone call, and it's just like there's maybe 12 of them. He's just like keep an eye on them, and it was Shand looks at him and it's just like, that's an expression. And like, I know it was meant to be funny, but it came off a little cringy. I'm just, oh my God. Another example of like, why is he apologizing for something so stupid and not even a thing? Like, I do not like what they have done to Boba Fett, and it really makes me sad on this. So, I don't know. With this, so I think with that, we're ready to go to like my final verdict. And I have to give this a 4 because again, I like the writing of the episode. Like the plot points were there, they were captivating, and if I were to read the script, I probably would have been just like, okay, like the synopsis of the script, I've been like, okay, this actually sounds really cool, a breakdown. Um, but yeah, just the execution of everything and was it just fell short. And again, I just hate what they're doing to Fett, and it's making me sad. So, 4, unfortunately, this is not a good episode. There were some good parts about it, aka the writing, the plot points, and there were some really bad things about it, aka the cyborgs, the fight scenes, and some choices they made. But yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, so I will be getting on these as quick as I can and try to get as much of these out so that I can be ready for episode 7, which comes out in a few days. So, yay. I hope you enjoyed, guys, though. This was really, really have fun doing these. And have a good one. I will catch you guys next time. See ya.